Hi, I'm David Parr. When I was a kid, there was a game that captured many of the qualities I loved about reading detective stories. The game was first released in 1949 as Clue in the US and Cluedo in the UK, and for a little while, the great detective in the game's tagline was none other than Sherlock Holmes. But as it turned out, the game was a huge hit, even without the involvement of London's famous consulting detective. Now, this is the 1949 edition of Clue, the first edition of the game. When I was a kid, I remember playing on a 1950s era version of the board, which now that I think about it, probably belonged to my parents. That version of the game board looked a bit like this. I'm sure you'll recognize the familiar rooms and, of course, the usual suspects. In the version of the game we're about to play, you will also play a suspect, not one of the usual 6, but a new one, and I will play the intrepid detective attempting to track you down with the power of my mind. Now, to make that process run a bit quicker, we're going to play a very simplified version of this game. So just ignore the yellow tiles and the yellow entrances to the rooms. We will simply jump directly from room to room. There are no diagonal moves allowed in this version of the game, only up, down, left or right to an adjacent room. Let's give this a test run. Go ahead and place your finger on the hall, right up there at the top of the board. If you're sitting close to the screen, you can physically place your finger on the hall, or if you're sitting farther back, you can close one eye and visually place one finger on the hall. That will be your starting point. From there, if I ask you to make 4 moves, you could move left for 1, go ahead and do that, and then down for 2, and then down again for 3, and then right for 4, ending up in the ballroom. Or, if you want to get cute, go ahead and place your finger back up there on the hall. If I ask you to make 4 moves from there, you could move left for 1, then right for 2, then left again for 3, and then right again for 4, ending up exactly where you started, in the hall. What direction you move is entirely up to you, as long as you don't move diagonally and don't skip over any rooms. Now, let's do this for real. Start by finding an empty room, a room that is not currently occupied by a suspect. It doesn't have to be the hall, it could be one of the other ones. When you've found an empty room, place your finger there. That will be your starting point. Now keep your finger there while I clear the board. Okay, from your starting point, make 4 moves. Go ahead. Now, as it turns out, I don't need my detective skills at this point. I know that you are not in the kitchen, because that's where I am, having a snack. Did you know that Oreo cookies are accidentally vegan? It's true, but now I've eaten all the Oreos, so the kitchen is officially closed. You can't move there anymore. Now make 5 moves. Go ahead. Have you done that? Good. My deductive skills tell me that you are not in the dining room. The dining room is now officially closed. You can't move there anymore. Now make 2 moves. Aha! You were tempted, but you did not stop to dance in the ballroom. The ballroom is now closed. You can't move there anymore. Now make 3 moves. I am hot on your trail and closer than you might think. You are not in the lounge or the conservatory. Now make 3 more moves. Okay, this is more of a hunch than a deduction. I get the sense that you are not in the hall. Now make 1 move, and then hold it right there. You have led me on a twisting, turning chase, but I think I've caught you. You are not in the study or the billiard room, which means you're in my favorite room of the house, the library. Gotcha. If I got all this right, be sure to like this video and share it with your friends so they can play too. Stay magical. Bye bye bye.